This is the Boston Celtics newsfeed for Saturday, November 23rd, 2019. Reporting from Orlando, Florida, I am Mike Walsh for CLNS Media, the leading online provider of audio-video content for the NBA's winningest franchise. Good morning, Celtics Nation. Boston is returning home today after an absolutely draining 5-game road trip that saw the team go 2-3, but lose those 3 games by a combined 8 points, including the missed buzzer beater in Sacramento, overtime at the Clippers, and of course last night's near Sans Kemba Walker comeback. We've got a couple big news items to get to this morning. First, a quick recap though of the actual outcome last night in Denver. Then I promise we're going to get to what is going on with Kemba. The Celtics never led in this one, but nearly won it anyway. An underwhelming opening quarter set the Nuggets in front 27-13, and the lead hit 19 at points in the second half. But Boston still made a real game of it before ultimately losing 96-92. That they were in this one at all is made doubly impressive for the fact that with about 3 minutes left in the first half, Kemba Walker tipped away a steal from Nikola Jokic and collided with his head lowered into Semi Ojeley's abs. Walker dropped to the floor and did not get up. His neck was put in a brace and he was stretchered off the floor. It's a scary moment all around for Celtics Nation. But Walker was later diagnosed with concussion-like symptoms according to the Celtics official Twitter feed, and there does seem to be a fair amount of optimism from the Celtics camp that he has avoided anything dramatically serious with his injury. Walker was reportedly later released from the hotel in Denver and able to rejoin his team for their return trip to Boston. He's slated to be reevaluated over the weekend, and according to the Boston Globe's Adam Himmelsbach, Brad Stevens actually saw Walker in the ambulance at halftime and said that he seemed to be in good spirits, joking that he was fine. Walker, one of the real Iron Men in the NBA, he was playing in his 158th consecutive game, played all 82 last year for Charlotte, and his 21 points per game are the most ever for a Celtic through their first 15 games with the team. Not sure how much more game talk anybody's actually interested in after that, but Stevens called his veteran players warriors repeatedly afterwards, so let's get into it for a minute. Boston trailed 70-57 entering that fourth quarter, but went on an 8-0 run with baskets from Marcus Smart, Javonte Green, Jason Tatum, and Brad Wanamaker to get within 2 with 5 minutes left. The deficit shrank to 1 at a couple points late in the frame, but Denver kept adding just enough distance. Even into the final minute, Jaylen Brown hit a couple big shots while his team was down 6 to get Boston within 1 possession over the closing seconds, but Jamal Murray hit his free throws to seal it. Hey guys, real quick, want to tell you about betonline.ag. We're teaming up with them, CLNS Media, betonline.ag, name a better duo. We're giving you an extra 50% added onto your sports betting bankroll when you go to betonline.ag and use that code CLNS50. Best part is, bonus is going to be added onto your balance within seconds. Again, please support the Boston Celtics newsfeed by going to betonline.ag and using that code CLNS50. Please see betonline.ag's general rules for additional terms and conditions. Murray and Brown finished with respective team highs of 22 points. Jaylen added 10 rebounds to his total. Brad Wanamaker chips in 14 off the bench for Celtics. For Denver, Nikola Jokic had a triple-double with 18 points, 16 boards, and 10 assists, while Paul Millsap had 14 points and 10 rebounds, and that 14 includes a monster three-pointer in the final seconds of play. Now for the other big news. It's going to involve Boston's last All-Star point guard, one Kyrie Irving. Irving made it clear over the summer he did not want to be in Boston anymore, and that's a sentiment he may be carrying over into his first regular season with the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets and Celtics are scheduled for a home-and-home late this coming week on Wednesday in Boston and Friday back in New York. However, according to reports by The Athletic's Joe Vardon first, Irving will not be joining his new team on their upcoming 3-game road trip, which, as I said, culminates at TD Garden on Wednesday. You know, the same arena where he stood and told fans he'd love to resign if they'd have him, and then help put them through one of the most frustrating years in franchise history, before bouncing to a division rival less than a calendar year later. Irving's been dealing with a shoulder injury, so don't want to get too testy with him. He did last play on November 14th, so he's been out for a little bit here. But this was certainly a game Celtics fans circled on their calendar for his return. It's also certainly not a great look if he does wind up coming back for the Nets on Friday in their home game against Boston. But we'll see what happens then. Again, it was a 2-3 road trip for Boston, not the end of the world. Celtics go to 11-4 overall, and they're returning home for a Monday contest against the Kings. Celtics are 5-0 currently at TD Garden, but they do slip a game back in the East. Milwaukee now at 12-3 in first place. Keep it tuned to clnsmedia.com and the YouTube page, youtube.com/clnsmedia. We got plenty of stuff coming up for that home stretch. Be sure to also subscribe to the Boston Celtics newsfeed. We'll keep you updated on Kemba Walker as information comes available. Until next time, for the CLNS Media Network, this has been Mike Walsh.